Okay, so I am hoping that all of these are in the right order. When they reissued Goosebumps, they didn't do all of them, and so they're kind of differently numbered. Sometimes, like on Goodreads and stuff, sometimes they'll say Classic Goosebumps, and then it'll have another number, probably because that one was also reprinted, so it's almost hard to remember what order they go into. Like, I knew, like, Welcome to Dead House was the very first one. Like, I knew generally, like, the first 4 or 5. But after a while, you kind of forget which exact number some of these are. But just know, this is, right now, all going to be, the original 62 books. In the best order that I can go. And I'm pretty sure this one is supposed to be 11. This is, of course, the iconic The Haunted Mask. This one is one of the more spookier ones. Definitely more scarier. Especially, like, the episode. Those masks were so disgusting. Oh my god. Still, to this day, when they come on the screen, I kind of look away because they're just so gross looking. Which is odd because the main mask that's part of this story, it's not as bad as some of the other ones. But anyways, yeah, this one is spookier, a little bit more deep than some of the other ones. This one is about a girl named Carly Beth who is basically afraid of literally everything. And even people she's friends with kind of tease her about it sometimes. And she's just tired of it. And so she goes to the store. In the episode, because I watched the episode many times before I ever read the book. I read the book like maybe a couple years ago. So in the show, she doesn't really steal it because she technically throws the guy money. So, but she does take it and she's not supposed to. So there's this like older creepy guy that is running this like new mask store. I don't think it was there before. And she finds this like back room where all these like really, really hideous masks are. And he doesn't want her to take any of those because, well, eventually you find out they're haunted, evil, whatever you want to say. In the book, I think she just kind of convinces him to give it to her, or she kind of just keeps asking until he just gives in. But either way, he tries to warn her that she doesn't really want these. And so, either way, she ends up getting the mask. And when she puts it on, things start happening. Like, her voice starts changing, and eventually the line between like her own body, her skin, and the mask disappear, and the mask becomes like her face. So I don't know if that counts as body horror because I'm not into that stuff. Because like I said, I don't do gross. I do like ghosts and other things. I can handle slasher movies, as long as they don't get too bad. So I enjoy the, finding yourself, being haunted by your own fears type of thing. And this was well written. I'll have to read this again eventually because I listened to it, and sometimes, in that case you miss a lot of things. But I didn't enjoy this one. This one is definitely one of the better ones. It didn't make my top 10 list, but it'll probably be up there in the 20s. So, have you read The Haunted Mask, or did you just see the episode? The episode was a two-parter, and I'm pretty sure that was the first episode, the first 2 episodes. And it was well adapted. Alright, next is Be Careful What You Wish For. And that's not the original cover. I'm thinking that's supposed to be like the fortune telling lady or the wish granting lady, and not, what was her name? Samantha? Yeah, I think that was the main character's name was Sam. Um, I had read this when I was younger, and I didn't remember all the details about it because, of course, it's just easier and faster, to watch the show. But of course, I'm still a big fan of the books. I prefer the books. But moving on, yeah, I obviously seen the episode a lot more, and the the episode adaptation is entertaining. I will say that, but it's also very ridiculous, and to some degree, this book is too. But the, the episode, the TV show, took it to a whole new level of just out there. So, anyways, this is about a girl named, yeah, I think her name's Samantha Bird. And I remember her name was Bird because this girl that always picks on her tells her to fly away, like fly away bird. Bugging me that I can't remember her bully's name right now. Okay, you go, dude. Or whoever's in there. Tell me, is that enough my worth? Because her name is said, like, at the very end, and of course throughout the book. But anyways, this girl is on the basketball team, Sam, and she's very tall, so, the coach and everything wants her to be on there. And people are kind of hoping she can get better, if I remember correctly, because she's kind of clumsy. Falling down, dropping things, that kind of thing. So, of course, there's always somebody that has something to say. And one day, Sam meets this woman who has, like, magic powers, right? She can grant wishes. And so she wishes for things, and it kind of goes literally. Like, I think... No, it's either, I don't remember if she directly is able to do the wishes, or if she has to go through the lady to do it. Why am I forgetting this now? But anyways, she makes wishes, and of course, bad things happen. Like, I think she tells somebody to buzz off, and they, like, turn into a fly, or people, like, disappear, that kind of thing. Like it's basically taken literally, right? And so, title is Be Careful What You Wish For. And that's the basic premise of it.
Really don't care.
Girl is picked on. She gets an opportunity to take control of things, and she realizes she doesn't really have control. Things don't go the way she thought they were going to, and you should be careful what you wish for. The ending between the book and the TV episode is very different. Both are good, I would say. But one, I suppose, is a little sadder than the other. This isn't the worst Goosebumps book. There are some things that are in here, a little more detail about things, and a little bit things that are longer than the episode. I like this better than the episode, because like I said, it was super ridiculous. Yeah, I guess it depends on your mood for this one. I've definitely read worse in Goosebumps. So, piano lessons can be murder. I'm just gonna say that I don't remember a lot of details about this one, but it was entertaining in the fact that it was so strange. It was strange. The twist was strange. It was kind of out there. The cover looked strange. Yeah, it was an entertaining read. It didn't draw me in enough to really remember character names and stuff like that. But It's basically about this boy, if I remember right, they just moved or something like that. And he finds his piano, and it's like playing, but it's not like one of those player pianos, so I think it's almost implied that things are supposed to be like haunted or something like that, but that's not. I'm gonna spoil it now. That's not technically the twist of anything. It's kind of really hard to talk about this one, I suppose, without giving away the twist, because that's like the main thing you remember from this book, is that it had a very strange twist. But yeah, he ends up going to this like music school, or I think they get him like a tutor or something, someone to help him learn piano, because he becomes interested in stuff. And the guy is like really weird and kind of like interested in his hands and stuff like that. And there's obviously something sinister behind him, but then there's like another big reveal about things. Not as bad as like Go Eat Worms and stuff, which eventually will come up on here. And I didn't dislike it. Like I said, it didn't seem written in a way where I paid too much attention to the characters. It had a good mystery to it to some degree, but it wouldn't be like in a top 20 of mine. Decent read. Alright, so The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. So this one is a really well done book. It's mysterious and atmospheric, got a great cover. The episode is well done. That has the same spooky atmospheric energy. There's a twist, which by now, with all the movies and everything that have been out, the books and everything, in some ways you probably can see it coming. But it had a lot of things going for it. People moving to a new place, like local urban legends about people and swamps and, werewolves and stuff. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Both book and TV show episode. So this is about a boy, I believe his name is Grady. Yeah, I think, because he's got a friend that he meets in the new place that he's in, and the friend tells him about, like, I think, like, the swamp hermit and other things that go on, and tales, from the land and everything. But I'm pretty sure the kid's name is Grady, and for the life of me, I can't remember his sister's name, because basically it's mostly about Grady. So anyways, Grady lives with his sister and their parents. Their parents are, I don't remember what kind, but they're scientists, right? And they're studying these type of deer that like live in the swamp. So, they're not used to this area. I can't remember if they're like technically like city kids or whatever, but they've never lived in that type of rural area with like swamps and stuff, right? So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but Grady warms up to it a little bit faster than his sister. He ends up finding a dog. But yeah, he ends up finding a dog, and after he finds a dog, there are some like animals that have been killed, and like other things going on, and the parents think it's a dog because of course they don't get into details in Goosebumps, but obviously they make it out where the animals were attacked, and it probably was kind of gruesome and stuff, but it being Goosebumps, obviously, it was kind of, PG. But anyways, it's implied that they think that, the dog is killing these animals. He was a stray. He was found, so they kind of blame it on that. And Grady's friend, he knows it's not that. And Grady knows it's not the dog. And so, things about werewolves come up and everything. And like I said, I can't give too much away. Spoilers. You'll have to read it. You Can't Scare Me. Oh my god. I don't have a lot to say about this one. This is one of my least favorite ones. because almost nothing happens, and then even when something happens, nothing really happens. Like, there are a lot of Goosebumps books that I like that take time to get up to, like, the spooky part, like the big spooky part, or the big twist or reveal or whatever. But they're still entertaining stories, right? And this one wasn't terrible in the writing, but it just felt like the whole book was just like the first few chapters of something that should have been longer, and then they just slapped the ending on it. That's kind of what it felt like. So this is about these two boys. Again, I don't remember their names offhand, and I've seen the episode a few times. They're always annoyed by this one girl, or they're annoyed by this one girl who is a know-it-all. She's always correcting people or just trying to upstage people, really. Like, you know, it's not that she's confident in her intelligence, it's that she's kind of snooty about it in a way. She's a show-off, basically. She's not, like, competitive in a healthy way. She's just annoying, right? Because I'm all for people, especially women, you know, being confident in their abilities. You know, women and girls being confident in their abilities and their intelligence. But don't be a snob about it, right? Anybody, don't be a snob about it. So, I think the girl's name was Courtney. I can't... Her name might have been Courtney. But anyways, they do a whole bunch of stuff to try and scare Courtney. And they try to, you know, reenact this legend of, like, this mud monster and stuff. And I normally don't spoil things. So if you think this is a spoiler, I'm sorry. But this book and the episode have been out for at least 20 years or so now. The mud monsters really don't appear till, like, the very end. And it's not scary. It's just not. One Day at Horrorland. So, both the book and the episode are, like, super fun with this one. Didn't make my top 10, but it would be in my top 20. And then again, the top 10 can change. It depends on my mood. Anyways, this one is basically spooky fun. It's more of an adventurous one with, like, spooky twists and turns and everything. I like what the episode added. It had a bit of comedy to it, especially with, like, the monster commercials. That was, like, super well done. There is a character missing in the show, though, because in the book, it's the two kids plus their friend. But they cut him out of the episode. But it's basically the same premise. So these people are on their way. I think it's like Zoo Gardens or something like that. Anyways, it's a mom and a dad, their two kids, and their friend. I can't remember what their friend's name is. I think the daughter's name was Liz or Lizzie. Now I'm feeling that that's wrong. And I've seen this episode a few times. And I read the book once, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago now. So, I don't remember every detail that's different. I know there are slight differences between the episode and the book, but like I said, it's the same premise. This family and a plus one, basically, is on their way to, like, this zoo or whatever, and they have car troubles, you know, stuff happens, and they end up finding this place called Horrorland. That's ran by things called horrors, basically monsters. And at first they think, you know, it's obviously people in costumes. And, you know, in their situation, they try to make the best of it, and they, you know, end up going through the park, you know, the Horrorland, the theme park. And they realize that the rides are a little bit more scarier than they would have thought they were. Like, they get to a dangerous level of scary. At first they think, Horrorland, they're doing things to scare you. That's part of the theme, right? But then things a bit more extreme. And they realize that they are in danger. I recommend reading this one. Like I said, this one is a little bit more colorful in both, obviously, the cover and the story. It's a lot of fun and spookiness, but in a survival type way, not in like a ghost way. Why I'm afraid of bees. So this one, I guess, in a way, is slight body horror type thing. It's not my absolute favorite, but I didn't hate it either. It was an interesting story, just not written in a way that really just captured me with like its writing style or its characters. Um, After a while, some of these things are kind of redone, like the bully thing and the wanting to be this or that kind of thing. But it wasn't a bad book. It was decent. I mean, some books feel like they're a little bit more just filling in a gap, but some are good fillers, right? So this is about a boy, and I remember he's got like a bully and stuff, or just somebody that makes him feel like he's not good enough, right? And he learns about like this brain swapping thing, so he wants to swap. Is it a bully or just somebody who's jealous of? I can't remember. But basically, he tries to swap brains, like minds, with this person, and he ends up swapping it with a bee. And he doesn't really like bees. And of course, a lot of issues come up for him. Like I said, it wasn't the worst one, it's just not one of the most memorable ones for me. Monster Blood 2. So, it might be an unpopular opinion, but I like the Monster Blood ones. They kind of follow the same formula and everything, but I just think they're fun. I kind of like them better than the original Slappy books. I know, might be a controversial thing to say, but I really didn't like Night of the Living Dummy 3. I don't know. But this one's fun, right? This is where Evan and Andy, they're still messing with Monster Blood. She ends up moving to his neighborhood, which is kind of a stretch, I guess. But it's Goosebumps. It's allowed. It's fun. So, anyways, yeah, they're messing with Monster Blood again because, of course, 12-year-olds, they don't learn their lesson the first time. I'm assuming that's what they are. It's like Goosebumps is middle grade, so pretty much about that age. And of course, they find something fun. They've been warned about it. They've experienced what it does. But they're going to try it again. Because kids don't make smart decisions. And the class hamster ends up getting some monster blood and growing and growing and becoming this. This is Cuddles the hamster. Yeah, this was a fun second book. I kind of like this one better than the first one. I wish we would have gotten an episode with Cuddles the hamster. I wish that they would have just rebooted Goosebumps and just followed the books. I haven't watched the new show yet to judge it. It could be good, but I wanted something like another anthology show where it followed each book. I thought that it would have been cool if they would have just done like a season per well, normally they don't go past like 20 episodes or whatever. So, but like the first couple seasons could have been like a mix between like the original and like series 2000 or something like that. That might have been fun. And we could have gotten a Cuddles the Hamster episode. And we didn't. Maybe we will in this new one, but it's not exactly directly based off the books. And I want a Cuddles the Hamster episode, okay? So, Deep Trouble. This is another one that's less spooky and more adventurous. In fact, there's not really any scary creatures per se. Like the cover is misleading. I love Goosebumps covers, but this one kind of is misleading. I would say that the cover of Deep Trouble 2 is a little bit more accurate, but this one, no. Um, this one is another one where people are the bad guy kind of thing. So I think the two kids' names are Billy and Sheena or something like that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's their name. They are with, I believe, their uncle, and I think he's like a marine biologist and stuff. And it's kind of hard to talk about this one without giving like a big reveal away. But they discover something in the waters that people are after, and it's up to them to help said thing. So yeah, this one is a good book. It's just hard to talk about it without like giving things away, because like I said, this one really isn't about, you know, ghosts or monsters or haunted masks or stuff like that. This is, you know, more realistic in a certain way. And it's a fast read, and I do recommend it. So, The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. This one was a fun book. A good adaptation. I liked the acting. I felt the characters were portrayed really well and how you would see them in the book and everything. This is about two kids who are visiting their grandparents, and their grandparents are acting a little strange. They, if I remember right, they like either live by or they run a farm and stuff like that. And they seem to kind of be bending to the wants of somebody that works for them. And they seem kind of scared to upset him. And besides that, the kids, especially I think the sister, are pretty sure that the scarecrows are moving around. They are pretty sure that they are seeing them at night through their window. They are moving, they are walking. And of course they have to figure out why. So this one is a little bit more on the, scarier side. Obviously we have things that are coming to life that shouldn't be coming to life. So I would say, other than the slappy books, if you're afraid of things like dolls and that other kind of stuff coming to life and things being haunted, this might be for you. This one was fun. This one was spooky, a little creepy at times. So, let me know if you read any of these and which ones are your favorites. I already did 1 through 10 the other day, so go watch that. It's a pretty long video. This one's probably going to be long too. I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow, if I'm going to do my chapter by chapter review of 3 and 4 for the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, or if I'm going to do more Goosebumps. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.